If you've never shared a room with someone, you might not know the lengths that people will go to scare the living out of you for fun. Now, my sister and I shared a bedroom for most of our young childhood, so the things that we would get up to just for a laugh were pretty creative. And I was always a heavy sleeper, so anything that she tried to do in the middle of the night never worked. This one night, just as a preface, she almost started a fire in her bed, and I had no idea. Basically, she had one of those bean bags that you heat up, and it had burnt a hole through the bean bag, through her sheet. Apparently, it was a whole ordeal, but I have no idea because I could not be woken up for the life of me. And as a child, I was always terrified of the basement. But it's where my room was, and there was no avoiding it. A lot of our family activities happened in our recreational room downstairs, and I always felt like something was chasing me up the stairs, regardless of day or night. And I know it's a very common thing for children to kind of imagine that, especially when they're turning a light off and they hop up the stairs because they think something's behind them. But for me, it was an everyday, day or night occurrence. And there was no getting away from it. The amount of times that I probably almost broke a foot by almost tripping up the stairs, just trying to get as far from the basement as I possibly could. But when I was with people, I didn't feel as scared. One night, my sister and I are in our beds, and I'm almost asleep. And at the time, we had been attending what we call youth group. So basically it was kind of like church for kids. You go, you listen to a pastor speak, you sing some songs, and then you kind of just play games for the rest of the night. And so we were really into that at the time. And so for Christmas, I got my sister this like wooden bracelet with like little Jesus related items on it, like crosses, a picture of Jesus' face, and it was kind of like one of those old charm bracelets where you like pull apart and put something in, but it was like wooden. And I remember I was for some reason very excited to give this to her, so I couldn't wait, and I gave it to her early. So she was wearing it pretty frequently until she mysteriously lost it, and nobody in her house could find it. It was almost like she didn't lose it at home, but she took it off every time she would shower. So she is to this day almost 100% sure that that's what happened, and it just disappeared. So this one night, after she'd lost the bracelet, we're in bed, sound asleep, and I hear her thrashing in her bed. Now, she'd always been the kind of person who would kick and kind of move around a lot, but not to this degree. It was to the point where I thought that she was trying to scare me. So I keep saying, stop, this isn't funny, stop, you're just being annoying, please just stop. And it wasn't working. She wasn't stopping. She wasn't getting out of bed laughing or anything. So I kind of started to convince myself that, okay, maybe she's asleep. Maybe this is actually her just having a weird dream or whatever. And so I turned to face the wall with my back towards her with a pillow over my head. But I can still hear the creaking of her bed and the moving so violently. And it stops. And so that's when I think, okay, she's going to sit up and start laughing. And I'm just going to get annoyed and tell her that's not funny, go to sleep. So I turn around and she's just laying there. And she sits up so slowly that I felt like I was going to throw up when I saw this. I felt so sick to my stomach because that's when I realized I don't think this is a game. I don't think she's trying to be funny because she would have cracked. So she sits up, turns her head towards me, but I barely see her turn her head because by the time she'd sat up, I was not willing to see what she was going to do next. So I turned back towards the bed, or the wall in my bed. That's when I saw her turn her head from the corner of my eye. And I'm just facing the wall saying, this isn't funny, please stop. This isn't funny, please stop. And I refused to turn around. And then I just hear her lay back down. Throw herself back down into bed. And it took me about an hour before I finally calmed myself down enough to go back to sleep. And in the morning, my sister had already been up. She's in the kitchen when I walk upstairs and I say, did you wake up last night? Was that a prank? Were you trying to be funny? And she had no idea what I was talking about. And so that's when I realized maybe it wasn't a joke. Maybe what I saw was something else. And to this day, she doesn't admit that it was a prank, and it's been almost 10 years. So whatever happened to her that night, we don't know. All we know is it hasn't happened since.